Boom. Another reaction video, man. Another tune in to my channel. Another day in the life of reacting to these Christian videos. Today, guys, we got here an urgent warning. God showed this man the judgment day. Now, when it comes to these type of videos, it like, I don't know, it does something to me. It made my spirit feel like, I don't know. But without further ado, we just gonna get into this video. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I hope you guys stay blessed. Hope you guys stay, close to God. Stay prayed up. Hope your family's safe. Hope you are safe. And let's get into this.
October the 2nd, the most traumatizing and awakening day of my life.
Me and Rob will be married 3 years in this October, and in those 3 years, God has really been growing him, and the way he has been dealing with him has been very peculiar. I mean, the dreams that he brings to him, you only know that it's from God because man couldn't think of these things. I mean, and he backs it up with his word. So the dream that you are about to hear is really a testimony from God. And I suggest when you watch this, you not only just watch it and feel that it's something to entertain you, but you evaluate yourself and you make sure your house is in order for when God comes, because no man knows the day or the hour. Because I had to do the same thing.
Right.
I remember it was on a Thursday. Matter of fact, let's take it back. Wednesday night, I found myself looking at these different YouTube clips and watching different out-of-body experiences and different films that, they used to scare me. And I would watch it and it would blow me away. It would catch my attention. And it used to scare me so bad that I would wonder, my mind used to go in place like, God, is this stuff real? I couldn't understand it because I've never been to that place. So I found myself praying. I remember walking outside of my apartment, and I was walking back and forth with my eyes closed and just started praying. And I asked God, I said, Lord, if you give me an out-of-body experience, I vowed to share your word and to tell the people what I saw. Not expecting that God was going to respond back to that, because I was just praying out. I was just praying, not actually looking for a response. And after that night, the next morning, that Thursday, October the 2nd, I had a dream. And my spirit left my body. It was like I was in my apartment and my spirit got pulled out of my body. And I would go in these different transits, bright color lights. It was white, like the best way I can explain it would be shoo, 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 all the different flashing lights. And I appeared before a blue sky. With no clouds. It was like a blue place. No land, no trees, no grass, no water, nothing. There was nothing there but a blue atmosphere. And I would see this atmosphere goes millions of miles upon millions of miles where nothing existed. It was like nothing was hidden. Everything was revealed. Everything was before your eyes. You could see it. And we was in this clear kind of body form, some form of light, as you refer to a soul or a spirit and I could see through. It was so transparent, and in front of me was thousands among thousands similar to what I was, and thousands among thousands behind me, and I knew that it was some form of a soul. And in the middle of my chest were seeds, multiple seeds. I didn't know what they were for, and I realized that I was the only being that could actually move out of my place and look and
That's
observe,
crazy.
smell, taste, feel. All my senses were active at this point.
And that's one thing I'm scared of. I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared of Judgment Day. But I know God got mercy and grace upon me, upon my family, man. But this day will come. I can't lie.
And so, I began to look around and to observe the things that I saw, not knowing that this was a dream. I thought this was reality. I thought this was actually happening, and I looked forward, and there was this great shadow way in front of me, way at the end of the line. It was like 1,000 people in front of me, and there was a shadow, a great big shadow, but it had no detail. It was like as a vapor. And I could see that it was a shadow of something that was in the front. And I had many questions at this point in this dream, and out of nowhere, I heard these words: "Depart from me."
Ooh.
And this galaxy, this portal, I don't know what to call it.
That's one thing. I'm so scared to hear God say that to me. I don't know about y'all, but I'm scared to hear God say that to me. I ain't finna go, no.
Right side of God.
No.
Or Jesus Christ, whoever you decide to identify that spot of judgment. On the right side of him, there was this big portal that opened up. And there will be stones of fire. And normally when you get a lighter and you cut it on, try to spark a flame. But instead of fire, it was stones.
Stones?
And they will leak out of this portal. And whoever that guy had said, depart from me, flew down this place. And the flame, the stones were so hot that it would burn everybody outside of that portal. On the left side of our body or our form, it would burn us. And everybody would be like, ooh. Like as if it was so cold or so hot, you would tell somebody to close that door. It's too cold. That's how hot it was. And the portal closed. And then he sent them so fast that the screams were late. I heard, like it was like, depart from me. And it closed up.
Oh my goodness.
Then the screams come, and it terrified me.
Oh my goodness. But that gave me the shivers. I ain't gonna lie.
Like we moved up the line.
My body just shivered, bro.
And I began to think, I didn't understand where we was. I'm like, oh my God. Maybe this is judgment. Yeah, I had many questions, and I would hear, depart me, depart me, depart from me, and all these different people will be sent to hell. And the part that scared me the most was the people that were getting judged. You could hear when God was talking to them, and you could hear everything they got judged from. So if somebody went to hell for something that you knew you struggled with in your life, you know where you were going. And so I'm just seeing people go sit there, boo, boo. But I'm seeing the flame, and it's just constantly burning everybody outside that haven't been judged yet. And I could hear some of the people talking to God. And I remember there was a woman, blonde hair, and God was talking to her. He said, I'm not judging you for what you put on Facebook, but I'm judging you on how everybody else received it. 300,000 people were led astray by one of her Facebook posts. And he said their blood was on her hands. And out of nowhere, he said, depart from me. And I'm talking about, I couldn't express how powerful his words were. It's as if he said, depart from me, and everything shook. And she was sent with great force. And the portal opened up. Boom. She was gonna fly. And it would close.
Oh my, see, this is why we don't play with God, man. This is why, if you don't have the fear of God inside of you, and I don't mean, oh, I'm scared of God, I don't want to go to hell. No, not that type of fear. A fear to not want to do the things that you used to do, the things that you are struggling with now, because you know who God is. If you know who God is, we will not be doing the things we are doing right now today in today's society. Man, this is something. I ain't gonna lie. I got nothing to say, because
the scream was so late, it terrified me. People, adultery, fornication, so many different things that I could actually hear. And people in front of me were terrified, because a lot of those people were struggling or went through the same situation, and they never repented. So 1,000, sent here. They would flying. They was flying so fast. I've never seen something so fast.
And it's crazy because nobody knows. Like, people try to make it seem like God don't have power. Like, God is, he's a God of love, but he's also a God of wrath. And not people know that. Like, they try to take that for advantage, and they try to use that. And it's just crazy, man. Like, like, nobody knows the power of God. Like, nobody knows the power of God. I may not even know the power of God. Nah, I know he got power, but I don't know how much power he really have over. Well, he have power over everything, but us as humans, we would not be able to understand the power that he has, that he actually has, that we won't be able to. It'll be so overwhelming to us. We will not be able to withstand it. That's how powerful God is, and that's how glorious he is. Like, if we was to see God right now, we will not be able to see him because of his glory, because of how holy he is. That light gonna blind you. I ain't gonna lie. His light will blind us. But
and it got to the point where I was next in line, and he called me up, and he started talking to me. And keep in mind that our life held us hand to hand. So anything we did in our life, our life testified against us. So you couldn't lie because your life testified. Say, yes, you did. You did this. You did this at this time. Yes, you did. And whenever God would speak to me, you would see a big screen. Like, you would see as if...
That's one thing. God sees everything. You can't hide from nothing. God sees everything. And I remember one time I tried to run from God. That didn't work out pretty well. But
God says it comes to life.
Yep.
And so he started talking to me, and he started telling me everything that I could have did better. And at this point, I'm like, okay, God, I could have did this better. I did it. I did okay with it, but I could have did better. So he began to say other things, and he brought up this specific woman.
Yep.
And he asked me, why didn't I forgive her? And he gave me her specific name. I'm not going to say it. He gave me her specific name. And I knew exactly what he was talking about. He asked me, why didn't I forgive her? I said, I did, God. I did forgive her. He said, well, if you forgave her, when you get on the phone and talk to her, why is it that you treat her like the situation happened all over again? And I'm like, God, but I did forgive her. He said, well, if you forgave her, why are those seeds still in your chest? And I looked down. I was like, oh my God. That's what those are for. Those are seeds of what I did in my life. The things I didn't forgive. So he was talking to me, and I was like, oh my God. And he told me, he looked at me and said, because you didn't forgive her, I didn't forgive you some of your sins. And I was like, oh my God. And he started telling me so many other things, and he ain't told me not one good thing yet. And at this point, I'm getting terrified because my mind is starting now going to a place where I'm imagining how hot this fire is going to be when this portal open. And so, I'm scared. I didn't know how to explain how terrified I was. Words can't describe. When you meet God face, words can't describe how terrifying it is to look your Creator face to face. And where there's nothing hid from Him. There's nothing. Your inner thoughts are revealed before Him. Your perception, how you feel, everything that you hosted in this body is presented before Him.
Yep.
And so, I got to a point where I didn't want to hear God no more. I was just really turning my head because I was afraid that, it's already made his mind up. I was so afraid. And so I turned my head, and he would just come to tell me everything that I didn't do right, or I should have did better. And at this point, I knew I was going to hell. I knew it. I was fully persuaded that this was it. So I turned my head, and I was like, I don't want to hear no more of it. You know, my mind, I'm just really trying to imagine how hot hell is gonna be. I'm like, oh my God, Lord, I have no more chance. If I go down there, I can't come back. Like, Lord, please don't send me to hell. Please, like, God, please. I'm begging you, and I'm more terrified. I was more terrified than I can express. And so I turned my head, and at this point, I no longer wanted to hear what he had to say, because I knew at this point, you know, I was going to hell. And I would have my head turned, and out of nowhere, there was this one feeling that would come over the interface of my soul. And I would turn my head, and it would go in slow motion, and the tears would fly from my face. And I looked at God, and I was looking at his judgment. What was going to be my judgment? And he looked at me, he said, face to face, you don't get a well done. You get it, you barely made it. And he stepped back and said, come. And at this point, I was so confused. I'm like, oh my God. And
wait, he said you barely made it? I wonder what that meant, though. Like, is that actually real? Like, I wonder if that actually real. Like, is God actually gonna say that to people? You know, people who didn't really try as much, who didn't really have that strong bond connection with him, who still had, you know, sinful ways in their heart. I wonder if he's actually gonna give people a chance and tell them that you barely made it, and still let them, you know, still welcome them into heaven. I wonder if that's real, though. I wonder if that's actually gonna happen.
when the left side of God, heaven would open up so soft with brilliant lights. The colors were undescribable, like colors I've never seen before in my life. It was so pretty, so pretty, so amazing. And the colors would blossom as they grow, and as they grew, and the heaven will open up so gentle. And I will walk toward that direction, and my hand would go in the portal. And when my hand went through, it got bigger. My arm went through, it got bigger. It was like I was going into a mature state of a glorified body. And so my leg went through, and it got bigger, and you can see how big I got on the other side, and how my soul was being transformed into a glorified body. And my body would go through it, and only piece that was left behind was my leg. And right before my last foot got in, I woke up.
Wow.
The dream scared me so bad. I was underneath our living room table for hours. I was so terrified. I was terrified to move. I was terrified to do anything because I was afraid it was going to be added to my judgment. I thought that was the judgment. That didn't feel like a dream. I could feel, I could taste, I could tell you how it made me feel. Everything was so alive.
Wow.
In the dream. And at that moment, I was asking God, why did you give me this dream? He said, because I want you to warn my people that the things which you saw are the things that shall be. And I did.
And it's crazy, man, because God actually gives a lot of people these dreams, and they be, you know, hesitant to tell God's people what they saw. But I understand it though, because it's just like you don't want people to, you know, judge you or think you crazy or this and that. But it's like you're not doing it for you, you're doing it for God, and you're doing it to save souls. So that I understand, you know, why a lot of people go through, you know, not telling God's people what they seen or what they saw when they get these type of dreams or out of body experiences. And bro, this is a crazy situation, because I was in a similar situation just like that, but except I seen Jesus and angels around my body. And that's in my that whole, you know, testimony is on my podcast channel, which you guys can go look at YD Podcast, Young Disciples Podcast. And you could go watch, you know, me and my sister in Christ testimonies, and yeah, you'll catch up on that. Y'all go tune into that. But look, without further ado, we gonna, you know, wrap up this video, man. That was it for today. This was a great video, powerful video. Just opened my eyes. It just make me wanna build my stability with God, my firm foundation with Jesus, and actually want to know who God is. And I'm gonna try 10 times harder than what I am now. But yeah, this was a great video. Let me know how y'all like this video. Thumbs up, thumbs down in the comment section below. Let me know what videos you guys want me to react to next time. And yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Deuces.